Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey Celeste, I'm going to answer your question now. You're asking me about dividends. And Celeste asks, how do you feel about dividend investing? And if you are a dividend investor, do you recommend selling shares when the dividends per share is cut, or continue to invest in the stock with the buy and hold approach in mind? I'll tell you, Celeste, it is a preference issue, but I tend to be a buy and hold investor. How about this? I will tell you some of the good and bad of dividends so you know what you're getting into. The benefit of dividends, particularly in situations like what you have with the Corona scenario, was dividends, are cash in hand, as opposed to depending on what they call capital gains to make your money. Capital gains are when you're hoping the stock price goes up in response to new information. But a dividend, is a bird in the hand, which is better than birds in the bush. So people that like income and income that they can pretty much predict on some level tend to like dividends and dividend-paying stocks. Dividend-paying stocks tend to be companies that are not growing that much. They tend to be what they call cash cows that have plenty of excess cash, and they're just kind of giving the cash back to the investors. Because remember, the company belongs to you. It belongs to the investors. So effectively, dividend-paying stocks can be good in a certain context. Now, the downside, though, is that with dividend-paying stocks, you don't get as much in terms of long-term growth in these companies because these tend to be more stable companies that don't have that upside that a lot of young companies have. Now, when dividends per share drop, when a company cuts its dividend, that tends to murder the stock price because a cut in the dividend is a signal to your investors that something's wrong, that either you're not going to make any money, or even worse, you can't even borrow the money that you need to maintain your dividend. Either way, it is a bad piece of information relative to the stability of the company. So when the dividends per share drops, you tend to see a drop in the stock price. Now, does that mean that you sell? Well, it kind of depends, if you see the drop as the beginning of something worse that maybe the market hasn't picked up on yet, then maybe you do, but really the market is supposed to be smart enough to have factored all that in. So let's say that that the stock price dropped and you're thinking, oh, this means they're going to continue to lose money over time. Well, all the investors know that. So so let's say the price drops to 50 and you believe it should drop to 45. Well, if the market knows what you know and everybody comes to the same conclusion, then the stock price will actually go to 45. The fact that it's at 50 instead of 45 means that there's some set of investors who don't believe it's going to go to 45, right? Remember, to make a market, you have to have buyers and sellers. So if the price is 50, that means that there's a bunch of sellers at 50 and a bunch of buyers at 50 typically, and that means that at least a big chunk of the market believes that this company is worth buying. So I wouldn't try to use a cut in the dividend as a signal of what the company's going to do long term. It really just tells you what it is and where it is right now, and all that information is impounded in the price. So if I were to tell you, oh no, you should definitely sell, or oh, you should definitely buy, I would be wrong, because nobody really knows the answer to that question. And I know that that's an unsatisfactory answer, but that's actually what the theory says. So I hope this helps you, Celeste. Rather than thinking about whether or not dividend-paying companies are going to be a good investment or bad investment, it's really more so about what's best for you. So if you're looking for income, for example, senior citizens that are looking for income, they tend to like dividend-paying stocks. People with a low risk tolerance who don't want a lot of the volatility that comes with the high growth companies, they might buy dividend-paying stocks. Okay, so that's how I'd look at it. It's really a matter of preference for what you want in your portfolio. So me telling you if you should or should not sell or buy a dividend-paying stock is like me telling you whether or not you should wear red pants. Depends. Do you like the color red? If you like the color red, then red is red is the color for you. Okay. So I hope this helps you, and great question. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.